Hi there.
Hi.
How are you, Miss Stephanie Mills? You
I'm
look beautiful.
fine, Miss Janelle. Thank you. So do you.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, are you on the East Coast?
Yes, I'm in
Okay.
Charlotte, North Carolina.
Oh, okay. I don't know why. I never knew you were from New York.
Yes, Brooklyn.
I
But
always thought you were from Los Angeles.
I lived in Los Angeles for like
Okay.
I lived in Los Angeles for 9 years.
Okay. Maybe it was all that you and Don Cornelius thing going on. So
Yeah.
I just assumed you were on the West Coast.
Yes.
Yes. So I was so excited when I looked at the roster of everyone, like for the series that's coming up at the Mable House Theater. And I was like, oh my goodness. Um, I was like, the thing about when you were singing in that era, I could
Mhm.
pull up a song and I did a quiz on myself. So I pulled up a song and I was like, okay, where were you? And I was like, Fox Hills Mall, GHQ, 12th grade. And then I looked at the year and it was 1987 and I was like, yes, I was like, oh my goodness, like that's the
Wow,
difference between the music. Back then you knew exactly where you were and what you were doing.
that's true. That's true because it was real music. Now a lot of the music today is manufactured and a lot of the lyrics don't mean anything or
I don't
say
mean anything. And you made it seem like it was you, honey, like you was going through every experience, like I know you didn't
yeah,
have that
but
many
see,
experiences going on.
I grew up with Aretha and Gladys and Patty and all those women. So I was right behind them. Apollo
And
Theater.
is that where you got your start though, where you were discovered?
That's where I did the amateur night. I did
Right.
the amateur night for 6 weeks in a row. And then I auditioned for a play called Maggie Flynn. And that ran on Broadway about 9 months. So I did the Apollo, I did the amateur night, and then I went into Broadway shows.
So it made me think, what platform today is equivalent to Apollo night where truly the people were voting, okay? What
I
what platform is equivalent to that where someone could go and be discovered?
Do you think it's American Idol? Do you think it's on television or no?
Maybe
I
because
mean,
it's on
that's
no television wouldn't make it equivalent to the
right.
same
That's true.
thing,
But
right?
then there is nothing equivalent to the Apollo
And
because
that's crazy.
it's such a historical place. So there isn't anything equivalent. I mean, the only thing I could think of is American Idol, and that's on TV.
Right, and Star Search, that's on TV. All the
Right.
shows are televised, and that's why I
Right.
said it was truly the people's choice because the people were booing you in or cheering you on.
Exactly. Exactly. The Apollo is I want to go back and do some shows at the Apollo. It's such a historical place. There's so many great stars that came out of that performed there. Roberta Flack, King Curtis, James Brown, I mean, Isley Brothers,
Right.
everybody.
Everyone. Now, the only thing I could think of is the acting platform is the Marla Gibbs Theater Playhouse, but that was for
Yeah,
actors where they went
that
to learn and perfect their craft out of her school. But for singers, I just can't think of a place that's not televised.
That's not televised. That's in a theater. I can't think of a place either.
So now, what was the song that you absolutely was like, I don't know if this one is gonna make it because back then you guys didn't have a choice as artists. If the producers were like, "This is what we're doing next," you're like, "Okay, that's what we're
Yes,
doing next." Which
yes.
song did you think, and it just went over the top?
Oh my God. Probably what you're gonna do with my lovin'.
Are you
Because
serious?
because I didn't want to sing about love. I was like, why do I have to sing about love? I was like 18 or 19 years old. And Two Man Lucas, who I love, may Reggie rest in peace. Uh, but they presented this song to me, and I was like, I don't know, but it's one of my favorite songs now. It's so
Right,
funny.
because it was just so like, what you gonna do
Yeah.
with my? He was like, I don't know what he's gonna do with my loving because
Oh, like, what? Yeah,
I was
yeah.
18 back
I
when you were 18. Now these 18-year-olds, honey, they singing
Oh,
all stuff. I'm like, now what you know about that?
about something else that we don't, that we like blush on. Golly,
Blush
yeah.
on. I was just telling the ladies today, I'm like, I listen to some songs and I want to wash my mouth out with soap listening to
Okay.
them.
Oh, me too. Me too.
Yes,
And they hit records. I'm like, wow, it's
hit
such a difference.
records. Such a different, and it's nothing like that time period, the music, like it just takes me to a happy place.
Yes,
Speaking of
it does.
which, everyone is going to go to a happy place at the Mable House Theater. Tell me when you're going to be there one more time.
No, it's not this weekend because I'm in
Okay.
Atlanta 2 weeks from now. Yeah, I'm in Atlanta on the 5th, on the 14th with
Okay.
Jeff Osborne and I. So that's the
Yes.
14th, August 14th. I will be there, but I'll actually be in the city on the 12th because Sergio is styling a show, a photo a shoot for me.
Oh,
Sergio,
really?
yes,
Nice,
yes,
nice. And
yes.
you look so youthful. Like you look great. You look
Thank you.
great.
64. Thank
Oh,
you.
64?
I'm 64.
No way. Wow,
Yes.
you look good and you sound
Thank you.
good. You still got a
Thank
good posture. Like,
Thank you. Thank you. And I know that's
yes.
important too, girl.
Oh,
That
it
pop.
is important because you know how judgmental everybody is.
Oh yeah. But I don't care what anybody says about me or think
Right.
about me.
All right, all right. So tell me, like, who was the most influential person back then? Because it was so many, like you said, it was like you can name after name after name. And right.
Wow. My mom was really my hero. But if I had to say like who did I love, it was Diana Ross, Miss Ross the Boss, Gladys Knight, Roberta Flack, Aretha, Queen Aretha. I listened, and the Jackson Five, all the Motown people were my favorites. That's who I listened to.
Nice.
You know what? I listened to some Sam Cooke too.
Oh
But
yeah,
my
love
mother
Sandra.
didn't like me singing Sam Cooke because she thought his music was kind of sad, but I
Yeah.
didn't.
I just think it was just great music. You know,
It was
music
great.
is an international language. Okay.
It's sure. And no matter how you're feeling, if you're feeling down, you can put on something that will bring your spirits up. Music is nourishment to the soul.
It is
That's how I look
nourishment to
at
the
it.
soul. It
Yeah, it
absolutely
is.
is.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm feeling a certain kind of way, I know there's this one station in Atlanta. I put it on there and it
They play
plays
all your favorites.
nothing but everything from the 80s and 90s. And I'm just like, it's like, and my whole attitude changes. That and a good piece of cake.
Yes, girl, a good piece of cake or a good piece of dark chocolate. That's
Oh,
my
yes. That is
that's
our go-to, right?
my favorite cake is German chocolate. I'm a chocolate girl. I love chocolate. I love chocolate men. I love chocolate cake. I love chocolate candy. Yes.
Right. So do you drink coffee every day?
Yes. Yes. When I wake up in the morning, I do my workout and then I come downstairs and I get my coffee and I sit because the house is quiet and I sit in front of the TV and I'll watch a little bit of news and then by then my son is up and so it's his time. It's like
Oh,
everything is
now how old is your
him.
son?
My son is 20.
20. Yeah, I
Ferrari.
have a 18-year-old and a 22-year-old. And I'm just gonna say, I'm just gonna make that face, that emoji that's like with the
I
younger one.
know.
That
'Cause
time period, that age.
that age, woo, that age, they don't want to be bothered with you, but they want
Mm-mm.
not. And it's so funny because you go from doing everything for them to nothing, and you're like, well, then what am I supposed to do? You
Right. And
know,
everything you did all these years leading up to the end, they don't even know how you did
they
it.
don't even, they don't have no clue. They don't have a clue.
My son told me I lost my phone at the mall last week, and he's like, you're an old lady now. You can't just go to the mall by yourself. You should have someone with you.
Oh my goodness.
I hang
Did
up
you
on him.
see that?
Yes, he did. He was like, you just can't be going to the mall like you did when you were younger. I was like, boy.
Well, in a way, he's right because there's so much going on. But I know
Right.
you didn't hear
I was
that. I
like,
know.
mm-hmm, you're right, son. So
But sons love their mothers.
they do.
They
Yeah, they
adore
just have a
us.
special way of showing
They
it
do.
once they get over
They do.
18.
Right. Right.
So let me ask you, when you say your mom was your hero, what were some of the things that you remember about her pouring into you that made you become the confident person that you appear to be?
My mother always told me, never look back.
Okay.
Uh, trust your instincts. Trust yourself. Put your trust in God always. Uh,
First.
first, yes,
Mhm.
always. And my mother took no prisoners. She was, I think as I get older, I'm more like my mother than ever before because she didn't mince words. She really spoke her mind. What
Right.
she felt. And if she didn't like you, she didn't like you. She didn't mistreat you, but she didn't mess with you. You know,
Right. So you didn't see her being all fake, like, oh, hey,
no,
girl, call me
yeah,
tomorrow.
yeah, no, she was not fake. Mm-mm, no.
Right.
She was gracious, but she wasn't fake.
Oh, wait a minute. So your mom was from the Stuyvesant?
My mom was from Marshville, North Carolina,
Oh,
and my
really?
was from Albemarle. Yes,
So
I was
how
so.
did you get to New York City now?
My father took a job in New York
Okay.
City. I was born in New York City. The rest of my siblings, four of us, were born in the South, but I was born in New York. But every summer, my mom and dad brought us to Marshville. So
Okay.
I'm raised like a Southern girl. So I
Okay.
consider myself a Southern girl.
Yes, you have like a Southern etiquette about yourself, but then that New York, I don't play
Right.
mentality. Like, I don't know, I'm an energy person, I just feel off of
Yeah.
people's spirit.
Oh, that's good.
Yes, I love it. I love it. I love the confidence. I love everything. And I love the way when you perform, like just your pitch and pace, everything. Like it's like you and the microphone have become one. You can tell when somebody is performing if they're having too close, like the new artist, or if they know like how to bring perfection.
To it. And I think that's my theater training. And then going to Motown and being taught how to do interviews and things like that. Then I don't think the entertainers today have been schooled like that. They don't they see we were taught how to do certain things, what to say and what not to say and how to really behave. And I don't think that
Yes.
like that now.
Yes, because today the artists, it seems like they get to the point, especially younger people, when they think they've made it, that they can just say anything. And then cancel culture comes in. And the next
Yes.
thing you
Yes.
know, you have no shows left and right. All your
Right.
stuff is being taken away from you.
Right.
And then
Right.
you're on a whole apology tour, but it's too late.
But you know what? This is what I feel about things like that. If you think about what you say and then you say it, you should never apologize. If
Right.
what you said is what you really believe, then you should never apologize under any circumstances
Yep.
because then it makes you look like you're just talking from the seat of your pants. You haven't
Yeah.
thought about the consequences because there's consequences to everything,
It's
but you either gonna
consequences
take
to everything.
everything. So you either gonna accept the consequences or not. Because whatever I say, I'm not apologizing for it. If I said it,
Yes.
I meant it. Because this apology, because still you're not getting your shows back. So what's the
Yeah. And the
point?
people are like,
Yeah,
man, they're like, oh, he must have got the phone call. They
I
just
think
think you got the phone call and even the way the apology is delivered, we're not feeling the sincerity of it. And you're right, when people say things off the seat of their mouth and they just say stuff off the seat of their pants, rather, that's what they say, because that's what they meant. They said it, they meant it, and maybe
that
it
came from
wasn't the
the heart.
correct thing to say. That's what really should be said. Like I said it, I meant it, and maybe it wasn't politically correct. That's how I felt. But don't backpedal.
Don't backpedal. Oh no, not if you're trying to be a G. And a lot of these kids out here trying to be a G. So G's, I mean, come on. You think about what you say, and then
Yes.
you don't backpedal. I think it's a form of slavery, if you ask me. I mean, why? I mean, they don't make Trump apologize for nothing.
Right. Oh, for nothing.
For
Okay.
nothing. For
Yep.
nothing.
And I've always been
Oh,
the kind of person like, I don't mind if something gets repeated what I said because I said it. And you have to
right.
take ownership. If you said it like, did you say such and such? Yeah, I did. Like, well, I'm not one to just
Right. Right. It's all the derogatory things they said about President Obama and late First Lady Michelle. They never apologize. So why do they always ask us to apologize?
right because of the money. That's it. You
Right.
already know it. That's the only reason.
They know that we're afraid to be canceled from their pop world.
Right. Now, what do you think would have happened if back in the day you had Twitter and Instagram and YouTube? Because we had none of those sources.
Yeah, none of us. I don't know. I think that we probably would have uh, exploded more, or just have been exactly the way it is now. If we had everything that they have access to, we
Look,
wouldn't
we
have
would have
needed
been
our
getting
laptops.
canceled.
I would have been getting canceled. Oh, I
No, oh,
know.
you
Well,
wouldn't have been getting canceled. You probably would have just been saying what you felt. But that's to be respected. A person is respected when they say what they say and live in their word. That's
you think
respect.
so?
I
I
do.
feel like I'm 64. This is all I've ever done. I've been in the entertainment world my entire life, and I know things, I see things, and I'm speaking from my experience.
Right. And that's the way you should speak from. So I love it. Now, was there ever a song that came across your desk where you were like, you know what, this is not going with my spirit. I cannot do it.
No, I never turned down a song. Even
Okay.
if I didn't now, Comfort of a Man, when that song came to me, I really didn't like that song. I didn't like it. I was like, oh, okay, but then I sang it and I liked it. There's certain songs that would come to you and you'd be like, I don't know. Then it grows on you. So
Right.
that's why I like writing my songs. And that's when I got into writing, because I wanted to sing more of what was inside of me.
Right. And it's amazing how a lot of artists talk and they don't realize in the beginning the difference between writing your song and publishing and owning it, the business of
Oh,
it.
yeah, the
And then
business of
later
it.
they're like, wait a minute, I should have been writing all of my songs once you
Right.
know.
But what I learned from a pop artist is that when you're an artist and you're popular, you can ask for some of the publishing,
Really?
because you're going to make the song a hit.
Right.
You
Okay.
can ask for some of the publishing, but they
That's
don't
it.
tell you that.
Of course, they're not going to tell you that. We've come such a long way from the way things were in the beginning to how things are now as
Right.
artists, as entertainers, even as journalists. Just so
Yes.
much we know now, and that's through educating ourselves because I think we weren't provided, weren't able to receive the education that we needed to know in order to be great.
I think they keep a lot from us in the entertainment business. They don't tell you all the things that you should know. And then you may run across someone who will school you on certain things, like why should I pay 5% to a business manager when Madonna is only paying 3%? Or
Right.
why should I, you know what I mean? Certain things like that you'll learn. I don't believe in lawyers or business managers getting any kind of percentage. But if
Really
but if they have to get a percentage, then they should get maybe 2 or 3% at 100,000 cap. Period. Because they don't
nice.
need to earn more money than that. But there's a lot of artists out there paying foolishly to their attorneys and their business managers and managers.
Yes. And see, that was something I never thought. I thought a manager was supposed to bring things to the table and bring opportunities. Pretty much a manager is writing their own check, because they're the ones that's taking the artist there. But artists don't realize a lot of times their value. You're still the talent. without
You're
your voice,
still, you're
without
s-
you
right.
being
And-
you, there's nobody gets paid. Okay.
right. But what, and this is what's happened to R&B. They decided, to make the producers the stars instead of the talent. So it
Yep.
became a producer driven world, which really, I think, damaged R&B music because
Yeah.
the producers can't sing. They
At
still
all.
need somebody to deliver that music.
Yep.
You know, a lot of talent don't know their worth, but they're being uh, 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 shut down by their managers because the people around them are making them think that they can't do it without them when they can.
Right. Yeah. And a lot of them are wisening up. And the bad part of that was not catching up with that is the education, is the media training, is everything else they need to do to be proper. When you do have a platform and you can say what you need, then need to know how to articulate what you want to
Yeah,
get across so that it gets to the right sources.
right,
So you
right.
are a woman about your business. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. And it's good to talk to veteran talent and artists like yourself and songwriters because so many young people and new ones are coming in and they think, oh, I'm just gonna make all this money, but they don't understand how it goes. And then you see artists like certain R&B artists who let their managers hire all their friends and they don't bother to look into their finances. And then they turn around, they've gone on a whole tour and they're still broke.
Right.
So you're like, how
And
does that
they don't have a
happen?
place, they don't have a place to live, they're not secure. And then when they get older, they're scuffling around trying to figure it out. And that's very sad. So you do have to pay attention, even though they they see this is so like that's why I appreciate Simone Biles and Naomi Osaka for backing out of of the tennis match and the Olympics somewhat because your mental stability is
Oh,
very important. And
it's
when
very
you are
important.
young and you're in this business, you have to take a break unless you'll crash and burn.
You
And
will.
that's why I dissolved all my contracts and I didn't want any, I just wanted to be, I wanted to be away from the business for a while and just be a regular person.
Right.
If you don't do that, you will definitely crash and burn and possibly die.
Yeah, you cannot lose track of who you are as an individual. And a lot of times when you start off not knowing who you are and you let everyone around you dictate who you are, then when
Mhm.
they're all gone and the money is low, you're not able to get yourself up and pick it because you're not like, I don't even know who I am without all those things, you know?
I- I've heard a lot of stories from people that were close to a lot of huge superstars who didn't even know how to write a bill, write a check to pay a bill.
Wow,
And that's sad,
it's
you know,
terrible.
because to me, I always knew that my whole life wasn't going to be in limousines and off the stage and everything. I knew I like going to the grocery store. I like going to the post office. I like doing my own banking. If I can make the money, I can take it to the bank.
Right. Yeah, that's
So
sad if you can't even take it to the bank now.
okay, I don't
Right.
need somebody to take it to the bank. I may need you to do my taxes, but I don't need you to take my money to the bank. No.
Yes, absolutely. I love it. And that's so important that you were grounded and had a mom that was like, no, this is how we're going to do this. And I did respect Simone Biles because her reasoning was, why would I, if I'm not in a good mental state, cause the whole team? Like you're stepping back because you're not being selfish and you're not,
Right,
exactly. It was
right. And
like
you're
so
saying I need to
selfless
take,
for her to do that.
and it's
Yeah,
like I need to take care of me. I need to take care of my body. I don't want to hinder the rest of the because she knows it's just like I would know if I couldn't sing or I couldn't do something. I'm going to say, hey, I need a break right now.
right. You
And that's
are.
just smart.
It was very smart of her. It was very brave of her. And
Yes.
we have to really work on building us up instead of, because
Thank
she's still a young girl, a young mind, instead of making her feel like trash about it. And that's
I
the
don't
only
like
thing I
that.
hate about social media is that it does make people open to feel like they could just say whatever as if you're not even human. Yeah, it's
Exactly.
embarrassing.
That's the one thing about social media. So sometimes when they come for people that I like, I get them, because I'm older and I'm like, you want to talk trash to me because
Right.
I'm your equal.
Yes.
It's so cowardly to sit behind a computer and say something. That's a coward way,
I
you
call it
know.
gangster Twitter people. They
Yeah,
just
don't say
keyboard gangsters. That's what I call it,
that
keyboard
keyboard
gangsters.
gangsters, but see, I'll find out where they are.
You're
Shoot.
like, I got time today.
I got time today, baby. Yes.
I love it. Well, I will see you on the 14th. I'll be
Okay.
front and center,
Good.
basking in the melody.